6,460 pounds, or I should say only, because that is very light for something this size. This is a Freedom Express 292 bunkhouse outside kitchen super slide beauty here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Again, originally sold here at Haylett RV to its one and only original owner. The only reason it's here is because the person got a new job that doesn't really allow them the ability to go towing anymore. They swapped it out for a big diesel pusher, and they're basically teleworking as they travel around to do different jobs. The fella's a nuclear engineer, and you can tell by the care and maintenance and really simple, smart touches and improvements that they put on this thing right here. This is in better than new condition. I'm not going to say like new, because I don't think that does this thing justice. Normally right now I would jump inside the RV, but while we're still out here, I want you to see some of the updates they put into this. So this always had the nice slam latches, but when this was first built, it had those little plastic clip holdbacks. He went through, replaced every one of those with a nice magnet holdback like a new RV. Added on the front and rear the strong arm stabilizer bars to these stabilizer jacks to keep this thing sitting steady on a campsite. Also went through, added an additional set of stabilizer jacks by the tires right here to enhance stability even further. There's a few more examples of things they did to put into this, but I mean, the shape, the care, the cleanliness, you can see the gleam, the shine on this skin. There is zero signs of age, zero signs of weathering. There's no oxidation on skin or anything anywhere. This is, like I said, in better than new condition. Quick peek with the slide out closed. Everything's best quality is its worst quality. Because they decided to go with the bigger, nicer U-dinette, and because they did decide to extend the bathroom a little bit, you can see how it actually sticks out past the refrigerator. It is a little trickier to get to the bunkhouse. Now, if little Jimmy and her little Susie really need to get back there, they could easily kind of walk around the table, and they could probably squeeze through that little area to retrieve something. But short of that, you can get to your kitchen, your bedroom, your dining area, all of that stuff pretty nicely. So it's, you know, got a fair amount of travel access, but not 100% accessible with the slide closed. But that being said, it's literally no harder than just pushing a button like this to run the slide out 6 inches or so. And look at that! Voila! We're magically fully accessible. And that's all this really takes, guys. So many times people get really worked up over, can I get into it with the slide outs closed? And the answer is, you don't really have to always go whole hog on these things. Sometimes that's all it took. It took 3 seconds for this to be fully accessible. So let's open her up and see what she's really made of. And floor to ceiling, this has the same good feeling as the outside. It is every bit of spick and span. You cannot see even the smallest signature of wear and tear. Like, look at this sofa. Sitting here gleaming in the sun. If there were any little divots where people sat on it a bunch and wore it out, you'd see it in a heartbeat. I don't know about you, but I don't see any divots. I don't see any frayed, rough-looking fabrics or anything like that. And in fact, they even put a couple upgrades here in the living area that were above and beyond the standard package. Like, for instance, this had a spinning TV, but you see how the TV's swung out. He actually went through and upgraded to an articulating arm so it can swing out to face the seating area as well as spin around to face the master bedroom. And what's also kind of cool is, if you notice here, we have 2 sets of lights in the bedroom up above the bed, which seems odd. Because you're like, well, yeah, it's a Coachmen Freedom Express. They have those dual element blue-white reading lights. Well, they didn't when this RV was built. It had these big LED lights above the bed, and then the next year they came out with those. And the owner of this RV liked it so much, he bought factory parts to put into this camper. And that's the thing. Every single upgrade and modification that's been done to this, it's been done to factory spec with factory parts. So that's why I said this is in better than new condition. It has more things, and frankly, it's cleaner than when this thing came off the production line. Now, it's got a 6'9" interior height, so it's 3 inches taller than a normal lightweight, and that means a taller slide out, taller cabinets, taller bunks, taller shower that I appreciate. That's a full tri-fold hide-to-bed sleeper sofa. This is a full, like, rough 7-foot U-dinette that can fold down into a bonus sleeper if need be. You will find, other than the kitchen counter, every countertop on this has a sealed edge and pressed membrane so water can't seep in there. So why not the kitchen? Well, the answer is because it's an even nicer solid surface countertop. So this is the Liberty Edition Freedom Express. This is the one with all of the things. This is the one with all the equipment. And something this has that the new ones don't, and I kind of miss, I forgot about it, is the skylight above the dinette, letting in the extra light in here. And that extra natural ambient light, it really does open up and look and feel good in here. It's pretty great. And there is a shade to pull that shut if you don't want to feel like an ant under a magnifying glass. You will see that every window opens for ventilation. I can't find, there's nothing wrong with this coach, guys. I mean, the floor, I can't find like a bubble gum wrapper on the floor. This is exactly how everything's supposed to be done. This has the larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner, 8 cubic foot gas electric fridge as part of the Liberty Edition. We'll come back to this light fixture in a minute when I can get a better angle on it. Over here in the bathroom, we've got a porcelain foot flush stool. So that's another one of those nicer things you don't always find in the lightweight world. And again, that taller shower is something I really appreciate. And notice that even in not just the living area, everything is LED lights. And you see recessed LED lights in the living room area up here. Right here is something that Freedom Express still does, but they now do in a different way. But they built in this giant charging station into these things. And you might notice there's these little holes down there. So what you can do is plug your phone charger, iPad charger, whatever in there. You can set it in here, and bang, you've got a nice centralized charge station. There you go. Now, someone's going to look at the kitchen and say it doesn't have a pantry. And yes, it does. It's just moved. It's over here in an area that could otherwise be dead wasted space, but by moving it here, it allowed them to have a little nicer bathroom. Over here, above the outside kitchen, we've got plenty of, and notice too that in this bunkhouse, every window opens for air. These aren't just like portholes. These are actual breeze-through windows that the kiddos get to enjoy. Now, they put a bigger bunk over here than a standard size bunk. It's wider. It's the same length. It's roughly 74 inches long, but it's wider, which allowed them to have all this beautiful like storage shelving space down here. Now, you'll see when we go outside, there is storage below that like step right there, but the step helps the kids get up a little bit. There are TV hookups above that stand between those two windows, although there's never been a TV installed in the rear wall, so you have a virgin wall where nothing's been screwed into it. We have all pocket screwed cabinetry that's going to last longer than particle board cabinets that's been stapled together. And again, all of the tops are going to be that same sealed edge membrane so that if the kids have a drink back here and spill it, it's not going to seep into anything. But like, look at even the bunks. The bunks are still looking brand new. I mean, even these don't look like they were wore down or used much. It's crazy, the condition of this thing. Moving forward, we've already talked about that. I'm just making a mental checklist because there's a lot to cover. Oh, I skipped over something here in the dinette. You've got this huge full extension drawer to get to that storage easily. But if you've got big heavy stuff, like this drawer is good for small light stuff. If you got big heavy stuff, you don't want to put it in a drawer because you could overload the runners. So you can just slide it under the dinette base. But another thing Freedom Express does that I've always liked, and they still do today, is they add these little sliding doors to the rear storage area on the back of the U-dinette. And I don't understand why more manufacturers don't do that, because it does not cost them anything more to do. All they have to do is drill a little hole and put that little finger eyelet in there, and bang, suddenly you've got magic storage built into this thing that's so much easier to access than taking out the table, taking off the cushions, taking off the wooden dinette base that you sit on. It's just smarter. It's so much smarter. We do have pocket doors for the master bedroom up front. We already talked about how they upgraded the TV from not just a spinning TV, but also an articulating swing arm TV. We have Bluetooth, DVD stereo below that, electric space heating fireplace below that. Now over here back to the kitchen. I talked about the 8 cubic foot fridge. The ceiling fixture up here, this is all LED. Also these little LED accent trays just to kind of, but it's an awesome little nightlight is really what that is. But over here, remember, we've got taller cabinets, being a taller camper. And what a lot of people won't realize is this has a bigger, deeper kitchen countertop and cabinet space right here. And the easiest way to see that, guys, is look at this stove. These stoves are all the same size. So if you look back here, you can see that there's like an extra 12 inches behind that. This has a 12-inch deeper, basically, appliance shelf back here with power outlets right above so that you can, you know, plug all your stuff in. But what that means is we have deeper drawers. It means we have deeper cabinets. So even the normal kitchen arrangement on this is bigger and has more storage. And then there's my old favorite, the Coachmen Freedom Express utensil drawer. Not a very creative name, but it's shaped like a U, and your utensils can go in there. So why is it shaped weird like that? Because it wraps around the sink. The sink goes in the middle section. So instead of a stupid wasted sponge drawer that is good for nothing, frankly, guys, because when you flip that sponge drawer closed, the sponge always falls out and ends up on top of your clean pots and pans anyway, which is gross. So solid surface here with flush recessed sink covers. And then if you pick this up, you see that even the sink is a level above. It's a stone cast sink. It's rated for up to 500 degrees. So you literally can't boil water hot enough to damage that because water evaporates before that point. Now the master bedroom up here, we already saw the upgraded lights, but you may notice the mattress is, as you may hear in the auto business, still in the wrapper. It is the original mattress from this RV that was never used. They swapped this out for their own bed, so you've got a literal brand new mattress that's never been touched in this thing. This camper is awesome. This is just such a good example of just how well this brand can hold up. You know, I've long had an affinity for the Freedom Express brand ever since we first picked them up. I've always had a good respect for them. And these guys are one of the least credited, most copied trailblazers in the market. And, you know, what we're seeing here was so far ahead of its time. And it's still like there's other brands struggling to catch up to it today. Like, they've been including these outside picnic tables, obviously, for years before a lot of other brands. And you're starting to see other brands finally start to do that. They still do this big full LED pass-through light up here so that you can see in all this at night. We got 42 square foot, or cubic foot rather, of storage in here. You can see that in a non-load bearing area, meaning not like a sidewall, just below the bed, they still do a double vertical weld on all their aluminum skeletons because it's just the better way to do it. You know, they just do things the better way. Now, it's easy to miss. You often don't see it at a glance, but if I get real close, you can see where there's actually a layer of diamond shield on this, like you see on the front of motorhomes. That's your stone guard. So this is a fully automotive painted front nose cap with a, you know, like a near invisible diamond shield on it. Power front tongue jack, power stabilizer jacks, get the, you know, the heavy lifting and the hard work done for you. And this is something Freedom Express started doing way before everybody else. They put the propane tanks in front of the battery, which allows you to have two batteries, and they also mount the spare tire on the tongue. That's for two reasons. One, load equalization. Weight in front of the axles tows better than weight behind the axles, and it leaves the rear bumper open for a bike rack. And as an added benefit, just organically, there's stuff above the tire that just kind of helps keep it protected from the sun. So, I talked earlier, but I want to point out, these JT Strong Arm braces that you see added right here, these things are the business. If you want to keep your camper from rocking and rolling back and forth, these are the absolute best things I've ever seen for that. We do have a heated enclosed underbelly right here. The slide walls, if you get real close and look at it, they got a rough texture. They're seal gripping to really make that wiper seal do its job, and it is doing its job. All the windows are UV tinted, which will keep the RV cooler. It'll help prevent furniture fade, and frankly, just more privacy, which never seems to offend anybody. And I love how all the hookups are localized. They're all in one nice little section right here, including that full outside shower and black tank flush. So remember I said inside there's a little step between the bunks with storage? This is it right there. They did not waste a single ounce of space in this thing. And again, every little corner of this thing has been upgraded to magnet latches. You know, they went way above and beyond here. Let's see, we got a full walk-on roof. Oh, Asdel. Holy cow, can't believe I didn't think to talk about that sooner. Your sidewalls have Asdel panels below the fiberglass skin. If you're not familiar with that, they are a composite resin instead of Luan. The primary benefit is that it's lighter. The secondary benefit is that it cannot rot, mold, mildew, and it turns the wall from water absorbent into water repellent, basically. I've got samples of the stuff inside that have been submerged in water for 60 days and never fell apart. I think that's pretty good. They probably figured at that point they could just end the experiment because it's overkill at this stage. By the way, those stabilizer arms I showed you on the front jacks, he put those on the back too. So they're front, back, and remember from the beginning of the video, added additional middle stabilizers directly next to the tires, just in front of the tires for additional stability. This camper is going to feel like it's on a concrete slab when you're done with it. So, in case you're curious, tire covers, so the tires have not been exposed to the sun. And out here, this outside kitchen is, again, spick and span everything the way it's supposed to be. We are all ready for an outside TV. This was built the first year, the first generation, they rearranged their outside kitchen to this, and it worked so well they've kept it this way because it allows them to have the bigger outside refrigerator, but still have a real sink with a real drain. And another of these handy utensil drawers, instead of a propane, well, the integrated propane gas grill, which is a low output system, this uses a high output Coleman camp grill that is also completely portable. So if you want to take this and go set it on the picnic table, grab the little 1-pound fuel bottle or whatever, you're going to be good to go to do that. And again, waterproof countertop stuff, because outside you can be exposed to moisture. And if it's game day and you want to go tailgating, knock it out, guys. Wide stance stability axles down here. These help keep the RV from bouncing up and down, from wiggling back and forth. They're not a replacement for an anti-sway and weight distribution. They're a supplement too. And we do have this nice little bonus drawer. Like, what is this doing right here? Well, normally in a Freedom Express, this would be the Coleman camp grill. But because this already has one in an outside kitchen, it's just a nice little bonus drawer. And he even added a little magnet latch right here that wasn't going to be there originally. So they went above and beyond in that regard. The bigger entry handle is just kind of a nice way to end things, so it's easy come, easy go. It is clean. It is late model enough. It can still qualify for same as new financing. Again, all the upgrades. This is in not like new condition, but again, better than new condition. This thing is the business. Dang it, this is not going to last long. Give us a call, 800-256-5196, Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.